Hi everybody, welcome back to another CYT-Crypto episode. My name is Stephen Aitchison and today we'll be going over the markets. We'll be looking at what's happening with Bitcoin, looking at an indicator. Well, it's not really an indicator, it's just a kind of a price that's not been seen for a couple of years. So we'll look at that as well, and we'll look at the charts that you want to look at as well. Let me know what charts you want to look at. And just talking about crypto in general, I know it's sideways just now, it's really boring, to be honest, just now, and it's just like, it's just kind of boring, it's just going sideways in a minute. But like all things, they'll come back. We'll get that excitement will come back again. There's just no excitement in the markets just now. There's nothing really exciting coming out, but there's always exciting things happening underneath. If you care to look at the hidden gems and things like that as well, which is kind of what we try and do in the background as well. There's still hardly any calls I've made in the premium group as well, because nothing really much is happening, and I still think Bitcoin is going to go up, so I think they're also going to come back down. It's been a couple of days. Some of them have been jumping up and then coming back down. So I'm still, it looks as if I'm not doing anything at all, but I still go through the charts 3 times a day, and there's nothing really much coming up indicator wise to say that there's something big going to happen with some of them. But there's a few. I'll show you that as well. But crush the likes, everybody. Go down to the like button and crush those likes. The channel is growing very, very slowly, but who cares as long as you're here. And we get to chat in the morning over a cup of coffee and chat crypto as well. Okay, I'm just going to see if we're live or not. I'm talking away, probably bollocks here, but and just see if we're live. Right, are we live? Yes, we are live. Okay. Right, I'll just dive over. We have James Oklahoma is in the house. Haven't seen you in ages. Good to see you, James, our very own, one of our brilliant admins. So it's brilliant to see you here. Finally back in live, so glad to be here today. It's brilliant to have you, James. I hope you're doing all right. Okay, mate. Joe Cook is in the house. Welcome to you, Joe. Kim O'Brien, by the dip. Hello, mate. Can you please look at link BTC? I will look at that. Just remind me later on, because I'll probably forget. You know I'm like. High Points Drifter is in. Mitch Dieter. MLB MK3 is in from California IA. It's midnight over there, I believe. Mervyn Skidmore is in. B is in the house. Morning, Stephen Crypto Nuts. Chris from Edinburgh's in. We've got Scottish Posse in. Mark Innes is in. Good to see you, mate. And thanks for the message this morning. Barbara Taylor is back with us. I know you missed it yesterday, but good to see you. And Crypto Don Juan missed it yesterday as well, but you're back today, DJ. So good to see you, buddy. And we made it, Don. Yep. So Barbara and Don kind of mentioned yesterday they missed a live. So it's good to see you back. Okay. Let's look at the overall markets, see what the hell's going on. Nothing much, as I said, sideways, blah, blah, blah. Nothing much happening at all. At the minute, Bitcoin still 11,344. I still think we're going to see an upwards movement, but we need to wait and see. We've got an overall market capitalization of 294 billion, nearly 295 billion dollars. Bitcoin dominance 68.8%. That's not really moved either. Who's the winners and losers? BitUSD up 181%, dives into top 100 at 51 because of that move. And I don't know why it's moved up so high. BitUSD, ABBC is up 27%, Japan Content is up, Komodo, Clippercoin, all in double-digit greens. We have about 25% in the green, 20%? Yeah, say 20% in the green, 80% in the red. VestChain down 14%, Maximum Count down 13%, only 2 in double-digit reds. We'll just have a look at the BTC Satoshi value, see who's up. We're looking a wee bit more for Satoshi value, probably 35% up in the green. So that's what we want to see. We want to see the Satoshi value rising, as well as the dollar value, obviously. If the Satoshi value rises, dollar value is obviously going to rise as well. Okay, so look at, I've not kind of set this up. I should have set this up and view all 100, no, it's not 1 million, we'll go 100k. And that'll take a wee bit to go for that. So what we'll do is we'll take a look at the Bitcoin chart. Okay, so we'll look at 4 hourly just now. We're still in this ascending triangle. Kind of showed you an ascending triangle yesterday. We're still in that. We're just looking at it on the 4 hourly. Kind of looked on the daily yesterday, but we'll look on the 4 hourly, and it's still following this kind of pattern just now. The ascending triangle. at the minute. And we just can't get above that 12,000. Once we get above 12,000, that'd be fantastic. However, we are in danger of breaking this support line as well. So we've got to remember, it can go up. It's looking bullish. It's looking that it is going to go up. It's looking like it is going to go up. However, we've got a couple of indicators to indicate we'll have to be really careful. If on the 4 hourly we're crossing down, the 70 EMA is crossing down over the 50 EMA, that's a kind of bearish sign, a very bearish sign actually. So it crossed over on the 4 hourly on the 31st of July. So we're talking over, well, just 2 weeks ago, just about 2 weeks ago, they crossed over on the 4 hourly. So that's the 70 EMA crossing up over the 50 EMA, and it crossed over at 9,700 all the way up to 12,200. That had been a good move. However, it can go down, and it looks as if it's going to cross down over. It's not done it yet. We need another couple of candles to confirm that, but it looks as if it's going to cross down over. And if it breaks this support line on the ascending triangle, that's another bearish sign. So not looking good from that point of view. However, I still feel we're going to go up, and it goes against what I'm kind of seeing in the charts at the minute. So we need to wait and see. But the last time it crossed down over on the 21st of July at 10,608, went all the way down to 9,100. So it lost $1,600 the last time it crossed down over. So we just have to be really careful, really careful. Okay, but there's another indicator. If we look at the monthly, if we look at the monthly just now, and we'll get rid of this ascending triangle, and we'll get rid of this thing. We'll put this up at 12,000. 12, 1, 2, 3. Okie doke. Okay, so the last 3 months, June, July and August, it's just kind of middle of August just now, obviously, we're coming up to the middle of August. We've never seen these prices on the monthly, or the closing prices on the monthly, for about nearly 2 years. Nearly 2 years. If we look at the last time, this closed at the high, it closed at 10,760, it closed there at 10,085, and it closed on this month just now, so far the highest, 11,339 at the minute. We've not seen those prices since November 2017 and December and January. So November, December, January were the only 3 months in Bitcoin's history where it's closed round about those prices. So it closed in November 2017 at 9,947. It closed in December at 13,880, and it closed in January 2018 at 10,149. We haven't seen those closing prices on the monthly since 2 years, and now we've seen this here. The last 3 months have equaled what we've seen in 2017, the end of 2017, beginning of 2018. And I still feel we've got more to come for this time round. So I think we're going to see another monthly high as well. We're seeing a kind of high just now of 12,325 in August. And I think September is going to be a good month as well. But I think coming up towards the end of August and beginning of September until the end of the year, I think we're going to break new ground on the monthly kind of closing prices as well. The highest closing price on the monthly ever was 13,880. That's the highest closing price on a monthly. Although we did get up to nearly 20,000, didn't quite make 20,000. We made 19,666. That was the highest price. That was a wick price. But the closing price on the monthly was 13,880. So I think we're going to break that. We could well break that this month, but I reckon it's going to be September. But I still feel we're going to go up this month as well. And if you look at the monthly, we've never been out of a bull market for Bitcoin price. Never been out of a bull market. Another indicator as well that we're seeing in June, and this hasn't happened since 2015. And if we kind of go back here, is look at the MACD. If we kind of look at the MACD in 1st of December 2015, the MACD on the monthly crossed over. It crossed over, so there's an indicator there, crossed over, Let's go to inputs. So that's the 12 and the 26. And we haven't seen that since 2015, but we've seen it here on the 1st of June 2019. That was the first time it crossed over as well. So it's looking bullish from that point of view as well. If you look at the MACD and stochastics, and if you look at the other indicators as well, they're going to kind of show something similar. So I still feel we're very bullish on Bitcoin. Still feel we're going to go up for Bitcoin as well. But if you look at it on the micro level, it doesn't look like it. So we have to be really careful that we see a kind of fall down before we see this bounce back up. However, we've not crossed down over on the 4 hourly yet. So I'm still kind of hopeful. We can see if we zoom right in, this is on the 4 hourly. That 70 EMA has not crossed down over the 50 EMA yet. But you can see the 50 EMA is just almost a straight line here. If we look at the straight line, it's almost a straight line in the 50 EMA. And we spoke about this channel as well. Yesterday, this channel we're kind of in just now, between 12,000 and 11,267, round about those figures. But in this channel, we'll have to break one of those channels to see any kind of momentum. Hopefully it's not a downward momentum. Hopefully not. It's not a downward momentum. So even though this kind of looks as if we're going sideways just now and kind of trending towards going down, I still think we're going to see the upside to this. So look out for that. I'd say it was about 11,250 would be the channel in there. We can draw channel lines actually. You can draw the box, but rectangle. It's in this channel here. Let's move that up. So this is a channel we're trading in just now, and we don't want it to break out or down towards the downside for this, unless you want the alts to go up. Obviously we do want the alts to go up, but we want the alts to go up as well as Bitcoin going up, because we get a double whammy then. But because Bitcoin is going sideways, we're getting a little run in the alts, but we're not getting a lot of indicators for the alts moving. And what do I mean by that? I'll kind of show you that in a second, once we've kind of spoke to you guys, see who else is in the house. Natasha Sakamoto is in the house. Welcome to you, Marcus Jafari. Crypto Bubbles, not looked at Crypto Bubbles. Why have I not looked at Crypto Bubbles? I've not had that for a couple of days. Crypto Bubbles. What's going on with Crypto Bubbles? Sorry about that. Oh, BitUSD, that's just kind of dominating. Options, we'll go to the daily. BitUSD still on the daily. That's a big, huge mother bubble. But over the last 24 hours, if we kind of take a step back, look at the macro view, we are in the red for the alts as well. CCX or CCCX, Clipper Coin is up. That's just on the day. If we look on the hourly, what's it like on the hourly? BitUSD is still dominating. Have they got any changes in here? Nope. Dominance? No, we'll just leave that. And we're still in the red on the hourly as well. So still not looking good for the alt at the minute. Still falling down on the alt. So obviously that's a dollar value. We're not looking at the BTC value or the Satoshi value. That's Crypto Bubbles. Thanks for the reminder, B. I forgot to put that in there. The team is back, says Crypto Don Man. Talking about Barbara as well. Debbie C is in the house this morning. Good to have you back, Debbie. G-Slick is in the house on his crypto journey. Good to see you here. Nils Bull is in. John Graham. Stephen, check out my daily chart I just sent to the premium group. It piggybacks your 4-hour chart with support. 1 wee second. I will just check that. I'll go back to my gorgeous face. Not. Right. 1 second. This is what Crypto Don Juan has sent us. And this is the kind of people we have in the group, in the premium group, which is fantastic to see. So this is on the daily chart, the XBT USD. chart as well. So we've got this kind of symmetrical triangle, which we spoke about earlier on in the week as well, this symmetrical triangle. We're near the top of that. We're still not breaking it. Once we break that, then we could see an upside to $15,000. So go back and check that video as well, looking at the symmetrical triangle. So this is what Crypto Don Juan has kind of shown us as well. So it's looking good. Just now, if we look at this at the minute, I don't know all the indicators there, but I take it that's the ribbons of the moving averages, I'm presuming. So thanks for that, DJ, and just a kind of reminder of that kind of symmetrical triangle, and looking at that. And you've got kind of buy and sell indicators there as well. So what was the buy indicator at? 10,900-ish. So good to see you. So thanks for sharing that. Mark Innes, crush them likes. Thank you very much, mate. Ross Davison is in. Kick is in the house. Good to see you back, Kick. Tim Gash is in. How did you get on yesterday? Let me know how you got on yesterday with the... I think you were going over to see some equipment or something. Let me know how you got on. By the dip, please don't forget to see link. Brilliant, thank you very much. The real Johnny is in, Chris Camus is in, Gino Dow is in as well, and saying smash likes. Okay, we'll have a wee look at link before I forget. BTC. Link for the long term, going to do brilliant. Short term, where are we going to go for the short term? Looks like we're going to go down for the short term for link. Not a bad thing if you want to kind of stock up on link. I don't think that's a bad thing at all. We need kind of pullbacks. It's had a 1,000% increase. If we look at the kind of bigger picture here, in fact, we'll go to the weekly. What does the weekly look like? So if we go to here, the 23rd of July, we're only talking 1 year. In the space of a year, it's went up 1,600%. 1,600, $1 in, $16 out. Which is fantastic. If you got in at the bottom and the top, but even if you got in down here at 25th of December 2017, it's went up 3,720%. So if you recognized link back here at 1400 Satoshi, you'd be doing brilliantly. You'd be doing fantastic. Although would have had a rocky ride back down to 2,000 from 10,000 and up again. So this would have been probably the ideal kind of place to get into link. That's not that I'm looking for. Round about this area would have been brilliant to get into link, and that's only a year. So imagine kind of going to a bank and saying, okay, hold my money for a year, and say, okay, we'll give you 0.1% interest on your savings for $1,000, 0.1%. What's that? $10 or something? $1 is it? What's 1%? It would be $1. But with link, you could have put 1,000 in and got 16,000 back. So that'd have been a brilliant time to buy round about there. Long term, I think link is fantastic. I think you can't go wrong, and I think link is going to go even higher than this. It's going to break its all-time high. There's no question about that. It's going to double. You're going to get at least 100% for link. I think it's a quality project. So I'll definitely kind of see it, or look at that as one of the ones that's definitely, I think it's 100% going to survive the altcoin purge, and I think it's getting more and more attention, and I think they're going to come out with more and more quality kind of info soon as well. So I think this is a great buy. I'm not in it myself, so I'm looking at it objectively as well, but I do think it's a quality buy. So short term though, if we're looking at short term, if you're asking for short term, would it be a good time to buy in just now? No, I'd probably wait. I'd probably wait for a buy-in. I'm just going to look at the 2 hourly. 2 hourly, it's not crossed over yet, so it could bounce off the 50 EMA. So it's not crossed down over yet, but have a look at the hourly. The hourly has crossed down over. So I'd probably wait to buy in. Particularly if we think Bitcoin is going to go up, Chainlink is probably going to come down with it, and I would probably wait, if I'm being honest. So what I'll do is I'll go back to daily. When would you look to buy in here? So I'm going to do the fib retracement on the daily crossover. So 61% is kind of tried to bounce off there, but if we kind of move it down here, So 20,117 might be a buy-in point, and also 14,817. So if Bitcoin goes up in price, if it does start moving up, particularly if it goes past the 12,000, stays above the 12,000, then we're going to see the alts coming down, unless there's good news. So good news is going to drive some of the alts much higher. So if there's good news with Chainlink, then this kind of negates what we're saying here. But if there's no news and you just keep doing what they're doing in the background, then it could come down to 20,117. That might be a buy-in point. However, if Bitcoin goes up and it goes down below that point, then the next buy-in point would be 14,817. Because what's going to happen is everybody's going to forget about the alts and just talk about Bitcoin. It's all going to be about Bitcoin. Then the alts are going to get kind of bleed further, unfortunately. So for Chainlink, that figure would be 14,800, around about that figure. That'd be a good buying price for Chainlink, and I think that'd be a steal at that price, to be honest. And then when the alts take off again, and when the altcoin purge is over, then Chainlink is going to be a survivor. Then you're going to see it increase twofold, threefold, fivefold, whatever. But there's still a wee bit to come down, I think, for Chainlink. Buy the dip, any indicator that will go with Bitcoin. Thank you very much for the donation, $2 donation. What do you mean, any indicator that will go with Bitcoin? So just can I ask that question again, but just clarify what you mean by that, by the dip. They're saying, thanks brother. High Points Drifter, I wonder how the Super Guppy looks at the moment. I've not looked at the Super Guppy for a while. For BTC USD. Now I had the Super Guppy up, but I can't remember what it was called, to be honest. Did I have it up before? BB Market Gold? Nope. Guppy EMA script, it wasn't that. Damn it, I can't remember what it was called. Was it this? Yeah, it might have been this. And that's on the daily. So I think the last time we looked at this was when the Super Guppy had turned green for the first time. And it was round about here. It couldn't have been March. It couldn't have been March. Was it the weekly? No. So it's red, back there, green back here. It might have been the weekly. Turn green back here, 3rd of June. So I need to go back to the videos and kind of check it out. Ah, damn it, can't remember. That's I like the Super Guppy as well, but I've never really kind of used it. So I need to go back to the video and check it out. Urban Skidmore 46 watching, but likes are so low. So smash the likes before you go. Cheers, mate. Oh, any indicator that it will go with Bitcoin. Right, I'm with you. Link BTC. I don't think there is any indicator. The only thing that's going to drive kind of Link to go with Bitcoin as well, if Bitcoin goes up in price, is going to be news. More news that comes out for Chainlink. But after the altcoin purge, then I think we're going to see more of a correlation, a positive correlation between the Bitcoin price and the alts as well. So when Bitcoin goes up, some of the alts are going to go up with it as well. I think there's going to be more of a positive correlation after the altcoin purge. But I don't think it's going to happen till after then. That means all the other shitcoins are just going to they're not going to disappear, they're just not going to be traded, and people are just going to forget about them, just go, right, that's it, I'm just leaving them alone. And they're going to trade the quality ones like Link, like Ethereum, XRP, Cardano, Litecoin, EOS, and whatever else is your kind of Binance, other ones as well. So that's where they're going to start trading more. September the 12th is going to be a major kind of date in the crypto world as well, purely because a lot of the US investors are going to be kicked off kind of Binance. They're not going to be kicked off, but they're going to be coming off Binance. A lot of them have done that already, and we're seeing a drop in kind of trading volume as well. And the liquidity, there's just not that much liquidity in the markets. at the minute for a lot of the alts. So we go back to kind of Binance again. We go to volume. And look at the volume for some of them. BNT1, there's what about 30 or 40 trading under 10 Bitcoin. This is on Binance, the biggest kind of crypto exchange in the world. There's only 10 Bitcoin worth trading on this particular day. 10 Bitcoin worth, well, $120,000 worth. That's not that much at all, to be honest, compared with the top ones. We've got Matic, 1,962 trading on that. So you're talking, I don't know what that is that 19 million? It's up to 1962 star 10, or say 11. Yeah, 21 million. So it was around about that, $21 million. So there is money there, they're just not trading these kind of lower alts just now. This is what I mean by the altcoin purge. They're just going to stop trading these coins. Unless there's a lot of them are going to be news driven as well. And a lot of them are going to jump up in price because of the news that they've got coming out. They've got to realise that. They've got to look at this and say, okay, how do we drive something forward? And they've got to come out with news, if it's obviously kind of good news, and not news for the sake of news, bringing news out, but something substantial. So if a lot of these projects, if they're not moving forward just now, they're just going to die out, honestly. I can see more cryptocurrency getting bought because of the China-USA trade war. Yeah, definitely. I was talking about this yesterday as well. I think China could be the country that just go for Bitcoin, and they just say, we're going to go for it. We're going to use Bitcoin. We're going to buy up Bitcoin, and it could be, if it did, Bitcoin would just kind of go ballistic, absolutely ballistic. It would just go mental if China did do that. But it could be one of the countries that just say, right, we're going to go for it. We don't need the USA, we don't need the so-called superpowers, because they just don't need them. So if they went all in on Bitcoin and dominated the market and said, okay, we're going to use that as the world dominant currency, Bitcoin, that would just change. It would just change the balance so much in the world. It would just be unbelievable if they did do that. By the dip, any indicator in Link BTC that shows it's bullish like BTC is. Right, okay, we'll have a wee look at Link just now. Long term is bullish. Long term Link is bullish. We'll not look at the super guppy. I don't think that's the right one, but so we're looking at the weekly. We'll go on the fib. Take off the fib, I mean. So on the weekly, we're looking brilliant. On the daily, even on the daily, it's not looking fantastic. It's crossed down over it. We're being kind of above the 50 EMA since the 15th of May. On the daily, we're down below the 50 EMA just now. On the 3 daily, we're still above the 50 EMA. So we've got an indicator there that we're above, and that's kind of been in play really since May, 15th of May, when it kind of shot up. So on the 3 days, it's looking okay, good. On the weekly, it's looking good. Monthly as well. We're not. That's just because it's only been trading a couple of months on Binance. So 3 day and weekly definitely look good. Daily doesn't look brilliant short term. But for long term, if you're in it for the long term, I don't think there's anything to worry about at all. Crypto 1, all the short time frames on BTC up to the hour chart look really bearish. Can you check out the 30 minute and 1 hour? So BTC. So I usually, if I'm trading kind of Bitcoin, I'll trade on the 15 minute. So daily, obviously looking good. That's a channel it's trading within just now. That's which I've showed you there. So if we look at the 1 hourly, we've crossed down over the 1 hourly at 11,806. Right, so we'll go down to the 50 minute and the 5 minute, and we're looking at. So the 15 minute, we're looking bearish on the 15 minute. We are looking bearish, 11,328. 5 minutes, bearish as well. So if we were trading short term, if we were day trading, we were short term, you can see we're in and out on the 5 minute all the time. So it's not good to really trade on the 5 minutes. So 15 minute would be kind of probably better. But 5 minute gives you an indicator of what's going to happen in 15 minute, obviously. But we're kind of struggling at the minute. We're kind of struggling at the minute. And we've still got this support, even in 15 minute, probably bring that down to here. 11,200 is strong support there. You can see down here, it's just kind of bounce, like it's on a trampoline. This kind of bounce on that 11,200. It just kind of tells me it doesn't really want to go below that 11,200. However, if it does, we're kind of scuppered. It's going to go down even lower to possibly 10,800. But it just doesn't seem to want to do it. However, it doesn't seem to want to go above 12,000 either. So it's going to have to make a decision either way. Well, I'm just kind of saying Bitcoin as if Bitcoin itself can make a decision. I'm talking about the traders making a decision. Yeah, so in the 15 minute, it doesn't look good either. It kind of crossed down over at 11,395, but it's just down over it. And again, we're in and out on the 15 minute as well, very choppy. Even though it's kind of going sideways, we tend to find that it is very choppy if we are going sideways. When we're on an upwards trajectory, it looks a lot different. You don't get that choppiness. You can see all the way up here, crossed over there, 9591, didn't cross down until 10,000, that's $500. Again, 10,000 up to 10,500, so we're going up in $500 jumps. This one, 10,736, so $1,000 jump before it crossed down over again. But just now, because we're trading sideways, we're choppy, we're in and out all the time. So it'd be difficult to trade this for sure, because we're in and out all the time on a 15 minute time frame. So it's definitely not trading, it's definitely not for trading at the minute. But still looking good daily. Four hourly, we're kind of on the cusp of a crossover. You can just see that as we kind of head poking out there on a 70 EMA, it's just poking down. So we've just started this at 9 o'clock, 3 minutes ago. So we need this to be bullish for this to kind of turn up again. So this could be a bounce of the 50 EMA. If it doesn't bounce from here, then it looks as if we're going to go down as well. All the short time frames BTC look really bearish. Can you check out the 30 minute and 1 hour? I need more eyes on this, LOL. James Oklahoma, thoughts on Pundy for the long term nowadays? Being in the US, I highly doubt it would ever make the list for our regulation. I'm thinking it may be best taking my losses while I can. Honestly, before kind of regulations came in and everything else, and before the kind of US, and it's probably not going to get listed. I don't know, but I think it's not one of the ones that's listed on the Binance US. I can't see it. I don't know what else is going to drive the price up of Pundy, because they've got, as I said, they've got the product, they've got the team, they've got the money coming in, or they're making sales. I don't know what else is going to drive the price up. I genuinely don't, and I've been wondering that for a while, James, to be honest. I'm just thinking, I'm at a loss as to how to kind of play Pundy. If I was still in it, and obviously I've been in it a long time in the past as well, but I'm at a loss just now. So if it's not going to survive this, the kind of US investors coming off, I honestly don't know. By the dip, thank you for your insight. My pleasure, mate. Thank you for the donation. Really appreciate it. Any latest news with Wax? I've not really seen anything, to be honest. I know you kind of mentioned that the other day, but I've not seen anything since. Godlyboy Crypto Crow was talking yesterday about you can do analysis all day long, but at the end of the day, the whales control the market. He was talking about trying to analyse whale activity. You can't, and this is where I got my arse kicked, because I was trying to analyse using the chart, particularly with Bitcoin. It's different with kind of altcoins, because there's not whales in every single altcoin, although there is, but they're not kind of trying to manipulate it as much as the Bitcoin whales are manipulating. So if we kind of look at this just now, and we go to the hourly. So imagine you're on the hourly and you go, oh brilliant, I'm going to get in at 11,800 or around about 11,800. Say it's just crossed over on the hourly, it's looking good. You see it going up to 11,976, it's still looking good. And then it goes a bit sideways. Then it suddenly drops by $600. Suddenly drops by $600. Your stop loss is in place and you've kind of lost out in that trade. Now, if you've got long stop loss like I did, I had long stop losses in when I was margin trading, then you're kind of scuppered. Then you just go, holy shit, I've just kind of been stopped out and it's a big, big loss. And you think, okay, that can only happen kind of a couple of times, surely. That can happen. You've been unlucky there to get in there, but that's happened a few times. That's actually happened a few times with this big drops as well. Same with the kind of other way about as well with the big jumps. Kind of happened here as well. Big jump, 9834. So a big jump of $400. I think that's looking good, but it comes back down, and then a big drop from 10,000 all the way down to 9,000. So a big drop of $700. Again, a big drop here as well. Big jump. You think, okay, it's coming down, big drop here, it's coming down, 9282, jumps up to 10.8, $1,600 it goes up. So it is somebody selling off. Are they deliberately trying to manipulate it? Who knows, to be honest, who knows? But it's much more difficult to trade in markets like this when you've got whales in this. So you don't have whales in a normal stock market, or you do, but they're not as prevalent, and they've not got as much stock in the stock market as well. So this is why you don't get these huge drops. It's usually kind of news driven. If there's going to be a huge drop like that, it's probably going to be on news, bad news, that they're going bankrupt or something. That would be the only thing that kind of dropped a stock by this amount, but not in crypto, because you've got these crypto whales. So it's just, he's right, Crypto Crow is right, it's difficult to kind of play this. The only time you can play it is when the whales are not playing. That's the only time you can play this. And we're talking Bitcoin in particular here. It's different with the altcoins. But I still think in the altcoins as well, would be manipulated as well. And I think on Binance just now, with the likes of the IEOs just now, they're being manipulated. I think the likes of Matic going up, Seller going up, ERD starting to go up, and things like that as well. I think that's to do with Binance. Not accusing them, but it's just very coincidental that these are all going up at the same time. Like the other day, I was the top kind of 5 Binance IEOs that were in the top kind of 5. They're kind of driving it forward. And that's not a coincidence. That's kind of either whales manipulating or there's something else behind it. But we can still play that. If we know the kind of rules that when Matic goes up or when one of the IEOs go up, all the others are going to follow. That's when you say, okay, I'm going to get into ERD, I'm going to get into Fetch, I'm going to get into Seller. And it's happening just now. We've seen kind of Matic jumping up and down already, happening with Seller at the minute. So you could jump in just now and just go, okay, Seller's 78, I'm going to jump in just now. It looks as if it's going to go on one of its runs. We can see it went from 71 to 94 here. Doesn't happen as much as it does with Matic. Matic BTC, we've seen 2 huge jumps from 80, 113%, all the way down again, and then all the way back up, another 64%, and it's at 140 just now. So Seller is probably going to jump. ERD, I think, is going to have a jump. And that's back down to 21. And it did have a jump from here, 21 just now, up 48%, to around about 31 level. I think ERD might jump as well. And it's nothing to do with fundamentals. I just think because it's in the interest of Binance to give it a wee push, give it a wee shove along. So we'll see. We need to wait and see what happens. Link developers dumping it. Watch yesterday's CryptoCrow stream. I've not seen that then. The fees for Bitcoin. Oof, don't know. I'm still staking Pundy. I still think Pundy will do well. I hope so. I genuinely hope so. Just if it's not moving up just now with everything that's got going, I just can't see what's going to move it. Barbara Taylor, VET will most definitely survive the altcoin purge. Do you agree? Yes, I do. And rarely anyone ever speaks about it. Don't get why. And just because I think there's nothing much happening with the alts just now. There's no big news coming out with the alts just now. But I think VT, obviously a couple of weeks ago, they had some brilliant news as well. But I think they're definitely going to survive the altcoin purge. And I think they'll go up big time as well. And one of the ones we were speaking about this morning, Mark Innes and I were speaking about this, Player. Player is a gaming kind of coin, a gaming project, Plair. And I've spoken about it before, ages and ages ago, and it looks like a hidden gem. It's only 1.3 million, but that's on the VET kind of exchange, or on the VET platform as well. So that could help VET as well, and other projects like that could help VET. So I do think it's going to go well. And just think I should just put it in X wallet, stake it and see what happens. So you can get FX coins as well for PundyX, for staking FX, for staking PundyX. Callisto. Seen them before. Callisto now at CLO. That's a long while ago I've seen that. They did go up to 16 million, market cap of 3 million just now. They've got a circulating supply of 1.8 billion. Total supply of 1.9 billion, so nearly up at 95% or 90%. Volume is 13,000 markets. Stakes not in good. Needs to get another exchanges hit. BTC is okay though, but not trading much. So hardly any volume there. Social, 17 hours ago. That's good. Callisto Hub Wallet, DApp Explorer, Official Explorer Environment, Hard Fork. This is the kind of timeline. Or the roadmap, sorry. So nothing much happening with it at the minute, but obviously they're keeping up to date in social media. Native gaming, decentralized open platform, custom networks, and Chainlink, oracles for DApp smart contracts on the platform. So they're teaming up with Chainlink as well. It could be one to look at as well. Thanks for kind of sharing that with us. Peggy Johnson is in. Hi to you. I buy some kick the other day, and if they win court case, it's going to pump. It started pumping already today, G-Slick. Kin has kind of gone up 46%. I've seen that this morning. I really like Dent as well. I think I'll tuck it away in my wallet and forget about even though it's not on the US list. Yeah, I think Dent is one like PundyX as well. I just don't know why it's not gone up. B, my VChain are going nowhere, Barbara. My retirement fund, yep. Hussein, Maboob is in the house. If you put Dent token in Dent wallet up to 100k or more coins, you get free calls and other bonuses through Dent app. Excellent. Doug Anton is in. James Oklahoma. Kin is going to be a winner in time to come for the Ace team. I think Kin, we've spoken about Kin for a long time. I think it's going to be really good. I really like the CEO as well, but we'll see what happens with them with the court case as well. Hypecoins Drifter, most people are looking for the next big thing to make money on unless something changes fundamentally for old coins like Pundy and even Cardano. The hertz attention remains elsewhere. I think that's what it is just now. The hertz attention is really on kind of Bitcoin at the minute, but there's still amazing hidden gems out there. They're going to come through and break through. I strongly agree about Kin. Yeah, I do think Kin is going to win, come out in the end as well. Tony P, morning guys. I'm late today. Was looking at Binance GE. Liquidity is so low. Yeah, I've kind of registered with Binance GE. That's Binance Jersey. Never traded on it at all. Binance US in September is going to have a big effect on Binance liquidity. It is really, because a lot of people are saying, oh, there's only 15% of traffic going from the US to kind of Binance.com. But it's not the traffic, the amount of traffic that's going over to Binance.com from the US. It's the amount of trading that's happening from the US on Binance.com, which is something like plus 30%. I think it's more than that. So you're going to get all that trading kind of going away from the liquidity. And this is where I think it's going to exacerbate the altcoin purge as well. Tony P, Binance JE is fairly hopeless at the moment for trading. Yeah, because there's no liquidity there. And they've not really done anything to push it. Then, hi Steve, what about COS? COS is moving up again, I noticed today. COS, BTC. Yeah, it's moving up again. 276 at the minute. I don't know much about it, to be honest. I don't really know anything about it, so I can't really... I just know as Binance kind of listed it and it just came out, but I don't know too much about it at all. I'd let BTC run first, Peggy. Why does everyone hate Wales? Cardiff is a lovely city. Gina Dow, can you look at Tron, please? Tron. TRX, BTC. Bollocks. BTC. 180, that's kind of going sideways just now. It's never really kind of moved, so it's in a kind of trading channel at the minute. 4 hours we'll go to. Look at that. And where rectangle. We've got this kind of box that's trading in just now. But it's up the upper end of the box. So it could break out. We're on the 4 hourly just now. It's never crossed over on the 4 hourly since 19th of July, which is only 4 weeks ago. And it didn't really do much. It just kind of went up to 285, then came back down. And that was from 245. So on the daily, we'll look at the daily. It hasn't really crossed. It crossed very briefly here, but hasn't really crossed over since November 2018. When it was 346, it's now 179. It doesn't look as if it's going to cross back over just now, certainly on the daily. So, but you just have to be wary of Tron, because when you write it off, I would write it off at your peril. I don't believe in the kind of Justin Sun way of marketing. It's not the way of marketing. I like his marketing when he's doing it for Tron and the kind of other entities from Tron as well, but when it's flagging off other companies and stuff like that, I just kind of lost faith in Justin. I don't believe that style of marketing. I just don't believe there's any integrity in it, and that's kind of when it went off Tron as well, because I was a long believer in Tron. But when it starts doing that, it kind of shows you the measure of someone, and I wouldn't like somebody like that at the helm of one of my companies if I was kind of investing in it. But that's not to say it's not going to do well. And when I was kind of looking at the kind of Tron market as well, look at Tron market, this is, the liquidity is not really there either, but it's easy to trade on this. It's quite easy to trade on the Tron market, if you've looked at that. So the more I've kind of looked at those little things that they're kind of doing as well, I'm definitely not going to write Tron off, but I just don't like the way Justin Sun does things, but that's not to say they're not going to do well. Kriska, do you think Win being on IEO will make a move soon as well? I don't know. It's not really made any moves just now, although it did go up from 2 to 3 to 3 to 4. Where is it just now? That's Dent. It's looking okay just now, so it could go from 3 to 4 to 4 to 5, which would be a jump up, obviously. I think longer term, once everybody sees how many transactions that's getting put through this and getting put through the likes of kind of Wink, if we look at this, see all these numbers changing here? These are all transactions going through the Tron network. This is happening live at the minute. This is people playing dice, this game. And this is happening live. So there's millions of transactions a day. They're getting put through this, and I didn't kind of believe that first, but then when I kind of looked at this, kind of wink.org, this is on the Tron network. And this is literally happening kind of live just now. So if you think about this happening 24/7, how many transactions are going through? I don't know if we can see. It's not DApp review. if it's going to tell us here. So the volume in dollars is 8 million. Number of transactions, nearly 1 million over the last 24 hours. The number of users is 2,863. This is on Wink. This is on Tronbet. So there's a hell of a lot of transactions going through this just now, more than any others just now that I can see. 132,000 on Udex on the EOS exchange. I can't see anybody that comes even close to it. Trontopia, that's another Tron one, Tron Casino. So I think it could be big. I think this could be quite big, especially with the betting. And I think the way it's going just now, the way it's kind of been played and shown, and a lot of people doing this, I think you could actually see something with Wink. But I don't know if we'll be pumped because it is a new one. I think the likes of Matic and kind of Seller One are different. I think they're actually helping the kind of network, whereas Wink is not. It's actually a kind of different entity altogether. But I still think it's going to go up in the long run. And I'm taking a big, huge risk with that as well, thinking that is going to happen. But looking into it and getting that kind of weird, kind of strange feeling that it might kind of actually happen. I think even if you held it for a year and it went up to 30 Satoshi and you kind of 10x'd your money, I think it's not a bad play. But it's just having to wait for a year. Only a year. Imagine saying, okay, give me $10,000 and in a year's time I'll give you 100,000. I think that'd be quite cool. Just like the market will pump again when people start selling, taking losses and running away. Always happens. It will pump again. Of course it'll pump again, and you're always going to get these kind of mini pumps. We just have to be wary of them. Not wary of them, we just have to kind of have a lookout for them. But it's difficult to have a lookout for them when they're just pumping in the space of kind of an hour or something, because there's no indicators to say when it's going to pump. Like here, there's no real indicators. I suppose back here we could have said that, well, this is nearly crossing over, or if we looked on a 2 hourly, it kind of crossed over on a 2 hourly at 47.48, and you could have said, okay, going to get in, but you'd have to get out the top for a 46% jump, but it's going back up again. So it's difficult to look for the indicators as well. That's the problem at the minute, just now. Okay, we'll go back to BTC USD before we can leave. 11324. So this is what we have to look for in Bitcoin. If it falls below 11,200, we're going to get a jump up in the alts and a big, well, not a big drop, but a drop in the Bitcoin price, if that happens. But we just have to kind of wait on that happening. It's just got this $800 kind of trading channel just now, and something has to give very, very soon. Did you look at trondash.com? I did, actually. Did I? Did I look at that the other day? Or did you tell me about it the other day and I didn't look at it? Tron Dash. Oh, I did. Because you wrote to me about it, didn't you? Oh, yeah, I did. I did look at that. Yeah, because I did look at it. Sorry, did I not get back to you about that? I do apologise. So this is about kind of staking. So it's just shown kind of what you've got. It's shown me what I've got there as well, and what I can get back every day. So the dividends per day is 215 at the minute, but by the end of the day that changes to about 800 Tron per day. It was much higher when I first started. So this is kind of staking almost. This is dividends you get per day. So every day if I'm getting 800 Tron, I'll get about what 40,000 Wink tokens for that, or Win tokens, and just trade that back and just go compounding. So I've now got 30,478,378 Win tokens, and I started off with around about 30 million. Something like that. So that's going up every day. Dice, I'm putting about 100 Tron a day just to play dice, to get some dice as well, because you get staking for that as well, or you can freeze it as well for staking, get more Tron for that as well. So yeah, I did have a look at it. Thanks very much for that. I do appreciate that, Gino. This market is a savage. It is really savage. I see Binance added NPXS USDT pair. Excellent. Barbara Taylor, smash those likes for Steve. Got X out the live chat for a second, but it helps the channel, please. Thank you very much, Barbara. I appreciate that. Peg Johnson, yep, done. Thanks, Peg. Peg Johnson, thumbs up. Okay, thank you very much for joining me. I really appreciate it. I know you could be doing other things, but this too shall pass. this kind of altcoin kind of drop we're having just now, I still think we've still got a drop to go, but it's going to present more opportunities to get in at the bottom as well. So imagine if you go into the bottom, if the kind of altcoins kind of drop by another 30-50% or something, you get into the bottom and then it can jump up by 100, 200, 300%. Then you're going to be kind of happy, and everybody's going to be happy again and positive. And if the Bitcoin price is going up at the same time, everybody's going to be even more happy and positive. So that day will come as well. But all eyes are on Bitcoin at the minute. I think that's what's happening just now. So it's coming back, but just buy your Bitcoin as well. Get those kind of Satoshis in, and just kind of build up that as well as your favorite alts as well. Okay, have a brilliant day whatever you're doing. Until next time, namaste. Take care. Bye now.
Here's to the crazy ones, the misfits, the rebels, the troublemakers, the round pegs in the square holes, the ones who see things differently. They're not fond of rules, and they have no respect for the status quo. You can quote them, disagree with them, glorify or vilify them. About the only thing you can't do is ignore them. Because they change things. They push the human race forward. While some may see them as the crazy ones, we see genius. Because the people who are crazy enough to think they can change the world are the ones who do. Here's to the crazy ones, the misfits, the rebels, the troublemakers, the round pegs in the square holes, the ones who see things differently.